Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I want to ask you lot a question. So it's summer, it's time for me to make plans for little journeys, holidays, etc. And the big question, as always, is what console do I take with me? So I asked this about 2 years ago, and I think I made the wrong decision. So the consoles that I have, my little handheld collection in question is a DSi, my PlayStation Vita, my Switch Lite, or my Anbernic RG35XXH. And all are fantastic consoles, with the exception of one maybe. And it's a difficult decision. I'm only taking one with me. And I know I'm supposed to be on holiday, supposed to be enjoying myself, spending time with my family, but there will be downtime when I can just sort of chill, kick back, play a bit of gaming, maybe actually get into a bit of gaming for gaming's sake rather than just sort of checking out what's new for video purposes. Maybe this might re-spark my love for gaming. So out of those four choices, there is a definite one that I won't be taking. And it is this. This is the DSi. Don't get me wrong, fantastic console. If you like DS games, one of the best ways to play them is on a DSi. But I've kind of fallen out of favour with DS games. Last time I went away, I took a DS Lite, I think. This is my son's. He took this with him, and well, it was just a bit. It kind of made me realise that I've come to the end of the road with DS games. There are some fantastic DS games that you can really get into, like New Super Mario Bros. But you know, it just wasn't enough for me. The whole DS platform, I think, has had its end of days with me. So that one is out. The rest of them are fantastic consoles. So first let's take a look at, we've got my PlayStation Vita, which was my go-to console for a very long time. It's modded, so it's got lots of games on, lots of emulators for retro games, etc. And like the PS Vita, it's small, it's compact. Battery life, I would say out of the three that I've got left, they're probably all about the same. Probably about 6-7 hours battery max. So if we were looking at it for travel purposes, neither of them are going to have any advantages in terms of battery life. PlayStation Vita is fantastic. Some absolutely classic games on the Vita which you can really get into. So things like Little Big Planet, Uncharted, Golden Abyss, I think. That is just two big titles that you could spend a lot of time playing. Then I've got a lot of games on here. I still haven't finished Thomas Was Alone, Killzone Mercenaries, which I've completed a number of times, but it is an absolutely fantastic first-person shooter. And I'm still working my way through the Resistance title that is on the Vita. So there's plenty of games on there, and like I said, I've also got emulators. So lots of Game Boy and Super Nintendo games that I could get into, and the fantastic screen on this. The Vita is an absolutely perfect portable console, very misunderstood console. I absolutely love it. So that is a contender. The next one we will take a look at is my Switch Lite. So it's bigger than the Vita, not by much. But it is bigger, but it is a Lite, so it's smaller than a regular. It's a modern console for now, so it's got a lot of new games on. Some games that I'm working through at the minute on the Switch Lite is the Crisis trilogy, so I've just started the first Crisis, recently completed Bulletstorm Duke of Switch edition, and I am also playing, well, Thomas Was Alone is also on here, but I'm got the entire Doom collection, 1, 2, 3 I think, 64, Doom 2016, which is the one I'm currently working through. I'm about 4 levels into that, and if I do eventually complete that, I have got Doom Eternal. There's a lot of modern games on here. I've got a Kirby game, which is it Kirby and the Forgotten World, which I am still working through. So the Switch Lite has a lot of games on it. It's not a modded console, so it just is how it is. But I've got something like, I think it's a 256 gig card. It might even be bigger. It's a 256 gig card. So there's plenty of games stored on there. Some digital downloads. Get that back in. And some cartridges. But it's a modern console, so there's more newer games on there. Absolutely fantastic selection of games on here, so this is a serious contender as well. But if I wanted something a bit smaller, then I do have my emulation device here, my Anbernic RG35XXH. Obviously it won't play modern games, but it is absolutely crammed with Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Master System, Mega Drive, NES, SNES, Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Neo Geo, Wonder Swan, Saturn, which don't run very well, Dreamcast, N64, and then there's some ports, DS. So there's a lot of systems this could run. But it is an emulation device. It's a retro device. So it's a tie-up really. So out of these three consoles, I'm not entirely sure which one I want to take. This is a lot more small, compact. It's probably the cheapest out of the three. So the other thing I have to consider is if it was to go missing or get broken. This is about £60, £50, £60. A Vita is going to set you back about £120. Then you've got to mod it. And a Switch Lite you could probably pick up for about £90 to £100. So in terms of value, the Anbernic is the cheapest, but it's not about that. It's about the best experience I would have when I'm out. Now, I've got some travelling to do. That gives me some game time. I've got some downtime when I'm away, maybe when in the evenings, or if the family goes out and I decide not to go with them, I could sit and play some games. If they... I'm not sure. I don't think the Anbernic is the one for me. I'm not really in a retro mood, so quite possibly not this console. So I think out of the two, it would be these. Now, if I was in a mood for getting back into gaming, because I've got a bit of a lull period, I tend to play games for creating video purposes at the minute, so short 20-30 minute bursts, and then I move on to something else. But this could be a good opportunity for me to get back into gaming. In that sense, I've played most of the games on the Vita. There are some games still left to play. I haven't finished Uncharted Golden Abyss, and I've still got the Resistance game to finish. Absolutely love Resistance. It's a franchise that really doesn't get the love it deserves, and it should come back. But I have at least tried most of the games, although this one also doubles up as a decent emulator. NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, etc. It does do Dreamcast, but not very well. So it will also handle PSP games. So that is a mixed bag. Fairly modern console, fairly decent. What I wouldn't class as handheld games. AAA titles on the Vita. But then you've got the big boy of the pack, the Switch, which has a lot of new games on. Out of these 4 consoles, shall we say, this is the most powerful. The Switch is not the most powerful in comparison to its other generations, but Nintendo never go for raw power. The Switch, and the Switch Lite especially, is utterly fantastic, and it's got newer games that I've bought, haven't really played. I'm still working through quite a few of them. I just buy them when they're on sale on the store and keep them. So, which console should I take? So out of the 4, this one is a definite no-no, because if I just took this one, I could quite see it just sitting in the bottom of my backpack, not having much love. The Anbernic, like I said, I'm not really in a retro mood. There's plenty of games that I could play on this system, but I just feel like I need to get back into a bit more modern style of gaming, some good first-person shooters or drivers, or some good platform titles. So the Vita is a fantastic console, but I think its age starts to show, and although it's a best of both, it's got some modern titles. Some games I haven't finished. I mean, I could pick up Little Big Planet again and carry on with that. But there are only a few games on the Vita that I could get my teeth into and spend my vacation playing. But then I also have the fallback of there's lots of Game Boy games, etc. on here, which I do love playing. I love a good 2D 8-bit platformer. But if I really wanted to get into some really heavy games and sort of carry on some of the games I've started and not gotten around to finish, you've got things like Crisis and Doom 2016, and maybe a break from normality, everyday life, might kickstart me back into to getting back into gaming. So I think it's a 2-horse race. This is a no-no. This I'm not quite in the mood for. And then you've got the Vita and the Switch Lite. So let me know. I mean, obviously I could always take 2, but then that's a risk. And I'm not going on holiday to game. It's just going to be a little side pastime. Neither of these really require online. I don't know if there is Wi-Fi where we are going. This one doesn't require online, and this one, well, none of the games I play on it at the minute require online, so I could get away with that. So let me know what you think. I think the DSi and the Anbernic are out, so if we were going away and you wanted a portable console, which one would you take? The PlayStation Vita or the Switch Lite? Let me know what you think, and I will let you know what I ended up doing. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.